What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, if y'all don't mind, please like this video, share this video, comment on this video, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content on the channel. Thank y'all for the love and support. Could never say that enough. Um, but a little bit of help goes a long way, and I greatly appreciate it. Let's get right into this work because I just read an article, came across an article, excuse me, um, that it's about to start. It's about to get ugly for the Boston Celtics, man. This championship just may be a gift and a curse. As the Boston Celtics have been able to accomplish something phenomenally great in winning an NBA championship. It's been a long time coming for this young core. Well, you can't even say core. A lot of the members from the core are no longer with the team. That kind of helped build this Boston Celtics coach over the years. A couple of guys that come to mind: Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. You know, a couple of dudes that went through the gauntlet with the Boston Celtics and weren't able to experience a championship with them. Unfortunately, you know, things happen, but the ball, excuse me, the media, man, I already knew. I had a bad feeling that when Jaylen Brown won that NBA Finals MVP, it probably marked the beginning of the end of the Jays. As Doris Burke, a very notable figure in the basketball world, very respected figure, one legendary sports announcer. She's just made history um, as the first woman to announce an NBA Finals. I'm very impressed with Doris Burke. I'm very happy with her. I'm not a Doris Burke hater or some kind of woman hater. You know what I'm saying? I think that Doris Burke has earned everything that she's gotten. She's a phenomenal, uh, I sound like Magic Johnson now. She's just simply phenomenal. But anyway, she's a phenomenal NBA analyst, uh, sports caller, all that good stuff. She really knows her game. But I don't think that she did a good thing by coming out recently and saying she doesn't think that Jaylen Brown deserved the NBA Finals MVP. And I think that's just kind of crazy because, yeah, surely you can have your uh, opinions of as to who earned what and all that kind of stuff, but there's no arguing that Jaylen Brown definitely earned himself the Finals MVP. And the case I would make for Jaylen Brown is not just on the offensive side of the ball, but also the defensive side of the ball. Um, as Jaylen Brown for five consistent games, and not just this championship series. I think that's another thing people mixing up. It wasn't just this championship series that Jaylen Brown was going off. He had done it in a regular season, taking on a lot of times the greatest defensive challenge. As we know, the NBA is full of guards and wings that can get busy. So on a night-to-night basis, Jaylen Brown was the guy that picked up the top defensive assignment. Um, in addition to that, you had uh, him doing his thing on the offensive side of the ball. More times than not, Jaylen Brown was the number one option on the offense and produced as such. Excuse me. And on the other side of the ball, I mean, excuse me, not the other side, but on the other side with, the Jason Tatum and Jason Tatum fans, y'all have to concede that Jason Tatum did not play great. He played a great game five, you know, um, and, respectfully, but this series was not great for Jason Tatum. He had some flaws, missed a lot of shots, and a lot of times Jaylen Brown came and bailed him out, respectfully. No knock on JT. I want to also mention that Jaylen Brown has a little bit more experience. He's a little older, so he understands um, a little bit more the weight of the situation, just as an older NBA player that's been there just a little bit longer. Not longer, not that much longer, but a little bit longer. Jason Tatum just made 26. Jaylen Brown, I believe, is 28. So, uh, I've always thought in my head that this Boston Celtics team was a little bit better when Jaylen Brown was the number one option, or at least when he was producing as a number one option. But just over time, over the years, Jaylen Brown would come up short, and he's even said it himself. But this series, we can't say that. This playoff run, we can't say that at all. And when the Boston Celtics did look stagnant or stale, from time to time, they would fall into their old ways. It was Jaylen Brown bailing them out. So, very disgusting on Doris Burke part. As much as I respect her, I got a lot of love for Doris Burke as well. As far as the contributions to the game that she has made, not just as a pioneer, in the woman department, but just as an NBA analyst. Period. Doris Burke has worked her way up in the ranks. As long as I've been watching sports, I'm 35 now, so I've been watching Doris Burke for the past 20 years. So it feels like I don't know how long she's been in the game, but as long as I've been watching sports, Doris Burke has been a figure, and I'm very, I admire her a lot. But this was just kind of uncalled for. Her saying that she didn't think that Jaylen Brown deserved the MVP, because that's cap. And I couldn't tell in her announcing the NBA playoffs and the NBA finals. I couldn't tell. She was singing Jaylen Brown's praises all through the NBA finals for sure. So for her to come out and say this, this is going to sow seeds of dissension between the Jays. I hate that. We've seen the media trying to do that. All throughout the playoffs, all throughout the NBA Finals. Shout out to Shaq. I meant to make a video on this, but one post-game interview that Jaylen Brown had with the Inside the NBA guys, Shaq made a good mention of how, he and Kobe allowed the media to come in between them, those two, and kind of ended their dynasty prematurely because Kobe and Shaq got so fixated on who's the man and whose team was it and all that dumb stuff when they should have been focused on how many more championships could we win. Because Kobe and Shaq still had good playing years after 2004 when they lost to the Detroit Pistons. They still had a lot of good, playing years. And I believe Shaq ended up playing one more year. Did Shaq stay with? I think he moved over to the Miami Heat by 2004-05. But he ended up winning a championship with D Wade in 05-06. So, it's the matter of the fact that Shaq had at least one more championship run in him. And that could have easily been him and Kobe. And had Kobe had his coming out, his breakout performances soon thereafter Shaq's departure. So, who's to say that Shaq could have just kind of played the second fiddle and prime Kobe could have carried them to a championship or two. All in all, we always kind of go through the what ifs when it comes to Shaq and Kobe, as they were one of probably the best ever 1-2 punch in the NBA. But they left I feel like they left at least one or two championships on the table. And then in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum's regard, they have not shown any disdain for one another in my eyes. I'm gonna be honest. That they have always been incredibly supportive of one another. Even Jaylen Brown, after winning his NBA Finals MVP, immediately shouted out Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, throughout the playoffs, has sung Jaylen Brown's praises. So I'm very happy with the brotherhood. These two have established, and I hope that they continue on and that as well. They have just done an old school accomplishment. I feel like this ring for the Jays holds a lot more weight, than a lot of NBA championships that we've seen over the years. These two have a very special story of, sticking to the game plan, sticking to the mission, and riding for one another. Talking about some bad boys, a real Martin Lawrence and Will Smith of the NBA. These two have done it, and I hope that they continue to do it. I want to see the Jays three-peat. I want to see them win multiple championships with one another and retire as two of the Celtics greats. Let the media hate, y'all. Let the media hate. Shout out to Shaq again for saying what he said and being able, to identify not just that him and Kobe had an issue, and that they let that come between them, but also noticing that the Jays, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, have something special, just as special as what him and Kobe had, and that he would hate to see the media, break that apart. And I'm in the same breath, I'm in lockstep, I like to say, with Shaquille O'Neal on that one. But all in all, that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content on the channel. A little bit of help goes a long way. I can't say thank y'all enough. It is your boy, Tony the Savant. Peace.